Now, this is a task for you. Find the type or nature of the case and try to analyze the type of the case. Let me read. In the village of Haripur, a centuries old tradition involves the annual festival dedicated to the local deity, which includes a ritualistic animal sacrifice. This practice has been a significant part of the village's cultural and religious identity. Recently, a group of animal rights activists has protested against the practice, calling it inhuman and demanding a ban on animal sacrifices. The local administration is now faced with the challenge of balancing the villagers' right to religious freedom with the activists' concerns for animal welfare. Simultaneously, in the nearby town of Sivapur, a historic temple has come. There are actually two questions in this one case study question based on similar types. Simultaneously, in the nearby town of Shivapur, a historic temple has come under scrutiny due to its practice of prohibiting women of certain age group from entering the premises. This restriction is based on traditional beliefs about purity and the sanctity of the deity worshipped. A women's rights organization has filed a petition in court arguing that the practice is discriminatory and unconstitutional. So, what is this case? First, case of faith and perception. Case of faith and perception, not civil liability. It's not about any organization. So, this is primarily the case of faith and perception. Okay. Now, I add some more points. If you are the district magistrate there, or if you are the officer on duty there, and you have to decide then what kind of a new case will add to it. It will also become the case of cognitive dissonance, because one side, being a bureaucrat, being an administrator, you know that there should not be any kind of partiality. There should not be any kind of injustice with animals. Animals should also be protected. But the other side, you are the person, you are a religious minded person, belongs to the same kind of society, so you know the sentiments of people, so it will cause the conflict between what you are thinking and what you have to do. So this will also become the case of cognitive dissonance, right? Now, this is the second case. In a small town, there is a chemical factory named Chemco which produces various industrial chemicals. The factory is located near a residential area. It has contributed a great deal to solve the unemployment problem of local people. Despite following all the standards safety protocols, an accidental leakage from one of the chemical storage tanks. The leaked chemicals contaminate a nearby river, which is the primary source of water for the town's residents. As a result, several people fall seriously ill and there is significant damage to the local ecosystem. What is the type of case? This is a case of absolute liability. So now you have become an expert of knowing the case in seconds. So imagine the condition when students are solving the case without knowing the type. See, once you know the nature of the case in any field, whether in the field of medicines, in the field of engineering, in the field of society, anywhere, if you know the nature of the problem, then according to the nature of the problem, you can decide the remedy. So how horrible it is or how illogical it is if somebody is going to solve the case study questions without knowing and without writing the name of the case. So now you understand on what I would say that parameter, on what the way I am just teaching you, so you understand the importance. Case of occurrence is there, but I told you that this is the case of absolute liability, because the notion of, in the enunciation of Supreme Court, it was said that when something happened, some casualties have happened in an organized profit-making enterprise, and some people are, I would say that some people are injured or have died, then we cannot make any excuse. Simply, we refer it to be the case of absolute liability. So I would say the accused should be penalized, and the victims could be compensated. It is right that no company is willing to kill his employees or people living in surroundings. But since Supreme Court has said that when it comes to talking about some casualties and some problems occur inside a company or due to the company or organization, profit-making company, then we just have to say it a case of absolute liability. How is it the case of absolute liability despite taking safety measures. You are absolutely right. In this question, it is said that despite taking measures, this incident happened. Even if all the safety measures have been taken, but Supreme Court, because something which is a judicial notion, orders, we cannot define it in some other way, right? Supreme Court has said that whatever may be the reason, if any casualty, any such accidents or incidents happen in which a profit making company or an enterprise is involved, is the defendant, then we just have to say it, we just have to refer it a case of absolute liability, and there is no exception in it.